Hey, welcome to episode 22 of Puckin Awesome. I am Cassie. I go by Abstract Halo on Twitter, Reddit, social media in general because I have no creativity, and I am a Gophers fan. These are my lovely co-hosts.
I'm Cora. I go by Warzod on Reddit and Velociraptor on Twitter, and I am a hockey fan, but I also support the Leafs. Unfortunately.
I'm a hockey fan, and unrelated news, I support the Leafs.
I mean, the good news is you don't have to say you rooted for them the last game because they didn't actually play hockey.
Well, the good thing is I didn't actually watch it, so maybe better.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Blues game, and that's probably good for my emotional state.
And I'm Terry. I'm T-Rex20 on Reddit and on Twitter, and I'm a Stars fan.
I'm Ari. I'm at Ari_Raid on Ari_Raid on Twitter and Ari_Raid on Reddit. Sorry about all the interruptions in this introduction. And
I am Aisha Twerky on Twitter, and I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. I'm just gonna pretend that the Brewers are tanking right now.
That doesn't even make sense. They're not even bad.
We are without Chara.
Aisha doesn't know real pain. I'm sick of this.
Yeah,
we were
really.
without Jonathan Taves for like 6 months in 2011.
No one feels bad for Boston fans.
Literally no one.
Your sympathy went away a decade ago.
Yeah, it kind of did. Okay, so tonight we have quite a few things to talk about. Let's lead off with the sad but big news today. Alimata will be having surgery to remove a tumor from his thyroid. There's an 85% chance it's cancerous, but if it is, he does not have to do any radiation or chemotherapy, so there's that. So, thoughts?
I think one of the Pittsburgh writers mentioned that the top defensive pairing right now in Pittsburgh is a guy who had a stroke and a guy who probably has cancer. That's just... This is a team that's been just devastated by injuries, and it's one of the reasons they haven't lived up to their potential, their Sidney Crosby-like potential. And it's just shitty luck. If there was a PDO for health, the Pittsburgh Penguins are like 90.
That's just horrible luck. I mean, I'm glad it seems to be extremely treatable. But yeah, then they said it was discovered during a pregame physical. So,
Yeah,
or a preseason physical, sorry. Gotta love catching random health things because you work as an athlete.
He sounded very calm during his press conference thing.
Well, and it's been, so he's known about it since preseason.
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is that this is more or less the best way something horrible could happen. He found out very early he can play hockey up until the surgery. He's going to be back this season. It's probably not going to require chemotherapy. The Pittsburgh Penguins are an organization that's prepared to deal with a star player having cancer.
That's true.
Yeah. And it could be so much worse. That said, this is still absolute bullshit, and you have to feel for Penguins fans.
Yeah, I wish him the best of recovery.
Yes.
Yeah.
And recovery, they said, will be 4 weeks. So.
Wow, that seems like a really long time.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad, actually. So.
Yeah, it seems like a long time for surgery to remove a tumor.
That's true.
But
I'm guessing it would take a while for his thyroid to get back in balance.
Yes,
also,
they did
if you
mention the
remember,
length.
I think it was March in 2013 when the Penguins lost like Crosby and then Malkin and then Crosby again, and they went undefeated in the month. So maybe this is good for them.
Maybe. We'll see. In other health news, the Blues and Wild are both sickened by a bacterial infection that they may have picked up in either the Ducks or the Kings' visitors' locker room. For the Blues, it hit most of the team. For the Wild, it only hit 2 players, and that was because all the equipment management, it was all like, we're sanitizing everything. You guys have no choice in the matter. So
I think the Kings did it. It doesn't seem like it's not plausible because these are the same team that melted their ice and then poured it on Ducks, Sharks, and Chicago's ice.
To be fair, the Bruins did that too in Game 7 versus the Canucks. Nathan Horton did it.
Yeah.
So, I don't really know to be fair.
Not in the cup yet.
but it also could have come from anywhere. Like it could have. Hockey players are notorious for being superstitious and not washing their gear. If you've ever smelled or seen hockey gear, so something could have came off of another visiting team's stuff and just kind of festered and gotten worse and just got picked up along the way. So I think it's whatever locker room that was. They need to sanitize it better afterwards.
Yeah.
Because hockey gear is disgusting.
Yeah, I don't think this was anything intentional. That would be.
No, I don't think it was malicious.
It's just unfortunate and gross. Thankfully, everyone's going to be fine. It's just gross.
Yeah, it's gross. It's very gross. So we have one question, and it actually ties into one of our topics. Do we want to do it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, the question is from Josh, and he wants to know what the fuck happened in New York tonight. And I have
lots
an
of
answer.
things probably happened in New York.
But I have an umbrella answer to start us off. Minnesota sports happened.
Hockey gods like to promote bad teams to win.
It's where do you want to start? You want to start from the breakdown in the third period or the...
Let's start from the first period. Let's start with the Kreider hit and just go from there.
Okay, so that Kreider hit on Jonas Brodin. Brodin returned later. They said it was his leg, not his head, that was hurt.
But it was a very scary hit. Kreider got 5 and was ejected from the game for boarding, I believe.
Yep.
Right on the numbers. This is not Chris Kreider's first controversial incident, obviously. He was involved in the Price incident in Montreal last year. He's a guy that plays with a lot of power and maybe a little bit reckless. I don't think he's badly intentioned, but he almost reminds me of like Taylor Hall 2 years ago.
He just gotta he has to control his play a little bit better. Watching the GIF, and I'll share it on the Twitter for everyone if you hadn't seen it yet. But essentially, he launches Brodin from the top of the crease to the boards for length, and it's kind of nasty.
Yeah, that. I don't, the Rangers aren't really known as like a brutal team. Apparently tonight.
Ugh. It was just a bad.
So then the next controversial incident was later in the first period, I believe. Zach Parise got low, Fowler got low, and Mika Koivu and Mark Stahl were right behind him. And it looked to me like Koivu hit accidentally Mark Stahl's stick, and Mark Stahl's stick went right up under Parise's visor, and he's just bleeding all over the ice.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. It actually happened in the second period because the Brodin hit was right towards the end of the first, and essentially Parise went down. Koivu went to move Stahl's stick and lifted Stahl's stick right into Parise's nose.
Whoops.
It was completely innocent, and it just kind of freak an accident. And he's got this nice big stitch. He did return to the game, though. So did Brodin, for the record. He returned to the game.
So then I think the relevant thing at this point is to mention that the Wild then had, 9 minutes of power play? On which they did not score.
The Wild still have yet to score a power play goal. So let's just leave it at that.
The Wild scored 0 goals in 9 minutes of power play, and then scored 2 goals in 5 minutes of 5-on-5. That's unreal.
For a total, they've had more than 2.5 periods total of one-man advantage for the season so far, and they have not yet managed to score.
Yeah. But they dominate. They are the best 5-on-5 team currently. Well, at the time, in the middle of the game they were, and then the worst on the power play.
To be fair, power play is voodoo. Power play and goaltending are made up. I know that there are strategies, and I know that you try and maximize talents and different kinds of talents on the power play, but the reality is, the power play is voodoo. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Have you ever seen Pittsburgh on the power play this season? Holy shit.
That's a voodoo sacrifice they did there.
Well, the voodoo sacrifice was to get Sidney Crosby.
Well, yeah.
Well, now they have Sidney Crosby in one hell of a power play unit. I think they scored. I guess they scored both goals against Dallas, the other week on the power play, and their power play was just killer.
Yeah. And
they will score a power play goal tomorrow.
Vanek.
They will. Everyone has. Well, no.
Okay, well, okay. The other thing that happened in the game was John Moore took his elbow to the head of Eric Halla. Halla did not return to the game, and he got the match penalty, so he is suspended until further notice.
Whoops.
This was a nasty one, too. It's an ugly hit.
I don't understand the mentality there. Like, I understand that you get caught up in the moment, but at some point aren't guys going to think, I really shouldn't hit this person in the head and possibly ruin their career because they're in a different jersey. Like, that just seems like you should have, if you have enough wherewithal to be able to bat a puck out of midair into the goal in the middle of a scrum, you should have the wherewithal to realize that your elbow is flying at someone's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reality is that guys aren't thinking, but that's not an excuse.
No. It's not. And that hit was reckless, and Halla did not return to the game. So, yeah.
We hope the best for Halla, and it'll be interesting to see what the discipline process is.
Yeah. And as far as what happened in the third period with the score...
Yeah, so then the other part of the game was the actual game, which was easy to forget given all the bullshit. So the Wild were up 3-0 going into the third period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they were not up 3-0.
No.
Well, they did score one goal in the third period, the Wild.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that was not enough to offset the 5 goals that were scored by the other team. Carl Hagelin's a nice player. I'd like him on my team.
I like that flow.
So,
yeah.
So to sum up what happened in the third period is Minnesota sports. Because we can't have nice things up here. No, that's not how that works. Some sports team has to shit the bed at some point during the week to even out the other team winning.
Yeah, and the Vikings came from behind, so someone had to suffer.
Yeah, yep. Someone had to suffer.
It's okay. Soon the Timberwolves will be playing, and then they can suffer.
Yeah. But
do we want a score update?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, end of the first, and there was this no-go call that apparently was based off, I believe, interference. Looked like they pushed him down. The Edmonton defenders pushed him down near the net, and then he got up and scored. But because he was pushed into, I guess Scrivens' lane, didn't count. But then Benoit Pouliot on a breakaway made a very nice backhanded goal. So now the Edmonton Oilers are up 1-0.
I honestly cannot. They need to make the goaltender interference viewable because from what I'm seeing on Twitter, the player shoved he got shoved into the goalie, which should not be goaltender interference if your own damn player shoves another player into you. Like, and the other team scores, well, too damn bad. don't shove people into the goalie.
Yeah.
And yet it happens all the time because if the refs miss, they're concentrating on what's happening around the puck and they miss that first instance of, the stick to the back that pushes the guy into the goalie and the goal's waved off.
Today, and reasons why goaltender interference should be reviewable.
Say that again, Ari?
Today, and reasons why goaltender interference should be reviewable.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Let's see. John Scott had a phone hearing today regarding him leaving the bench to start an altercation, and he got a 2-game suspension. He did leave on a legal line change, but he even admitted his main purpose was to go start something. So he'll sit for 2 games.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why are coaches also suspended for doing this as well?
Because coaches should be responsible for their fucking team.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, if I could see that, especially if you're sending a legal line change with the intent to go after somebody.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just the player going, you know what, I'm going to jump off the bench.
Yeah, and I'm gonna. We should actually clarify that. Last preseason, David Clarkson got 10 games for jumping off the bench to join into an altercation. He did not leave on a legal line change. He just kind of jumped off the bench.
Right.
John Scott actually did a legit line change, which means that
that makes it kind of iffy for me. I feel like if he hadn't admitted it, like if he hadn't said, "Oh yeah, I totally did it to start a fight," I feel like a suspension would have been wrong because the rule isn't you're suspended if you ever start a fight. The rule is if you leave the bench not during a line change to start a fight, that's illegal.
There's actually also a rule for if you leave with the purpose of starting an altercation.
Okay.
So even on a legal line change, and that's the one where it's they can review and they can decide how many games. Where if you leave during an altercation to join in, it's automatically 10.
Okay.
So that's the difference between the 2 rules, because I know there was some confusion. So.
Even Bob McKenzie was confused. He got the rule wrong.
Yeah, to simplify it, in order for John Scott to have gotten the automatic 10-game thing, a fight would have already had to have been happening, and then he had to jump on the ice. But that was not the case. So, we have a question from Dave.
Question.
He says, will Minnesota sports fans ever get happiness with their teams, or are we destined to be miserable forever?
You're destined to be miserable forever.
Definitely destined to be miserable forever.
Just like Ohio fans.
Sorry. I feel the same too.
Okay, hold on. No, not all Minnesota sports teams are destined to be miserable forever. At least the Gophers are good.
Okay, professional sports teams.
Professional sports teams, yeah, you're fucked.
The eventual Minnesota CWHL team may be good. But there are a lot of hypotheticals in that sentence.
Yes.
And Dave, I'm going to go ahead and say that the reason that Minnesota sports teams are doomed to be bad is because of you. It's all your fault.
Okay. Let's see, other news.
That's terrible, Dave. Think about how much sadness you're causing.
I think it's because Minnesota got hot dish, and they traded for all the different kinds of hot dish. They traded sports success. That's what you get.
I just want the Lakers back. Los Angeles didn't deserve that.
Yeah. So, the other... okay, let's see. Do we want to do Charlie Coyle?
Sure.
Okay, Charlie Coyle signed a 5-year extension with the Wild. The cap hit is 3.2 per year. So.
Good deal. Good player.
Yeah. Seems perfect to me.
Yeah. I agree.
And they've locked up pretty much all of the... they locked up pretty much all of the young players, so... and the contracts are staggered. so they're not going to all expire at once, sending mass panic.
Tell me about it.
What is that?
So that's nice.
They've got one more of their young players they need to lock up. I can't remember who.
I believe the other two are Granlund, and I'm going to the Cap Geek site.
Granlund's going to get
Granlund
a
and
change.
Hala.
Both of those players are going to be good, but I think the Wild will lock everyone up for the short term at least.
Yeah, they're working on a deal with Granlund. Granlund actually wants a bridge contract. So
Granlund knows he's going to get paid.
Yeah, Granlund knows he's going to get paid later on, so. But they've staggered the ending of all the contracts, which is smart. And
yes. They're learning. They're finally learning how to operate in the salary cap.
Yeah. At the end, once the young guys all get signed, it's going to be one of the most cap-friendly teams.
What is that like?
And to put it into perspective, they have something like $8 million in cap space currently.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So,
Fucking team. What bullshit is that?
and they also got to get Zucker. Oh, no, they got to get him. But it'll be fine. It'll be good. They've got time.
They all expire around the same time, and the cap doesn't go up, which is a lockout, and everything is terrible. And I'm not saying that from personal experience or anything.
Okay, and, okay, so what other... do we want to just... Okay, we're going to I'm going to tackle the elephant. Varlamov is being sued by his ex-girlfriend in civil court.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my opinion on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
I mean, the crucial thing to note here is that her case was abandoned by the criminal prosecution in Colorado on the basis of insufficient evidence. However, a civil case, as some of you might remember from the O.J. Simpson trial, requires a far lower standard for evidence.
Right. For those who are, infants, O.J. Simpson was obviously acquitted in the murder trial, but lost in civil court.
Right.
Pretty much immediately after the murder trial was over, he was sued in civil court. And his wife's family was awarded millions and millions of dollars.
Right. So it's not like a big deal that's going on. I kind of figured it was going to happen, but it is news that came out today. So, but
one of the interesting questions I saw today was, what does the NHL do, given that they just suspended Slavovoinov, continuing his indefinite suspension? And the reality is, I think the answer is the NHL is going to draw a distinction between a criminal and a civil case. But I'm not sure they should.
I think they should. You don't need evidence to bring a civil case.
I guess I would be more positive about them drawing that distinction if they had done anything about the first fucking criminal case.
Well, yeah, okay, but that happened. The NHL probably acted poorly, but you don't have to. I don't think they should act on civil cases because you literally don't have to have any evidence to bring a civil case at all.
Case in point, some of these concussion lawsuits that have been coming up. Have you read some of the evidence that they present in these concussion lawsuits? It's they spelled Sidney Crosby's name wrong.
They said Gordie Howe was dead of a degenerative brain disease. Nope, that's his wife.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you can't, people sue the president for, hiding stuff about aliens. You can And you don't even need to go down to the courthouse and file the proper paperwork. You can file a civil suit. Usually for a criminal case, they'll have to have some evidence to file it.
I guess what really bothers me is that Semyon Varlamov is not going to pay any NHL-related penalty.
Well, I mean, quite frankly, even if there's no evidence, I don't think they should. I agree with suspending people while the NHL does their own independent investigation, but they didn't do that with last time because it was before the Ray Rice thing had happened, so they can't now go back.
My point is that that's hypocritical bullshit.
Well,
and that it bothers me.
But even if the NHL did suspend, they had, again, the case was dropped, the criminal case was dropped because of so little evidence. The NHL wasn't going to have any evidence to base their grounds on, and he could have appealed the suspension and look, hey, look, if the state doesn't have enough evidence to prove anything, how can you do that? And he would have probably won with an arbitrator.
I mean, like, how hard did the state try?
You can't base anything because you have absolutely no idea how hard the state tried.
No, but my point is that we've seen that the preponderance of evidence by states and by the federal authorities in domestic violence cases is abysmally low. We saw that the state did not pursue the video in the Ray Rice case despite the knowledge of its existence. They didn't show it in court, they didn't even ask for it. We've seen in other domestic violence cases that, in fact, there is a consistent and pervasive pattern of disregarding victims of domestic violence. In fact, to consider, of course, from the Colorado court that went to the Supreme Court, Gonzalez versus Gonzalez versus Castle Rock, it was eventually appealed to the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. Colorado was found in violation of its obligation to protect the rights to life of its citizens because it did not consider a domestic violence case seriously, did not uphold a restraining order, and resulted in the loss of 3 children's lives. So, what I am saying is this. It bothers me that Semyon Varlamov has not been, at the NHL level, held accountable for what he probably did. I understand the legal reasons for which he was not held accountable, and I understand that situations have changed due to the NFL's bad publicity recently. I am not saying that the situation was handled differently. I am saying the situation should have been handled differently.
But there's a key word in what you said. Probably. You cannot prove, and nobody can actually prove he did that.
But,
that's the thing.
First of all, you don't know that no one can prove that you did that. You know that no one did prove that he did that. And second of all, whether or not you can prove it, he should have been suspended pending an investigation, and he was not. And it bothers me.
The thing is, in the criminal investigation, there was so little evidence that it got dropped. If the NHL were to have suspended him, if we go back and we say they suspended him like they did Voynov, and then the investigation got dropped as it did, he could have turned around and went to an arbitrator for his suspension, and the arbitrator would have probably sided with him because there was so little evidence.
Wait,
well, I'm not saying that he
but Voynov's not being suspended for the incident. He's being suspended with pay. He's on leave, essentially, while they investigate. I don't think you can go to an arbitrator with that.
Yes, he can.
What would you take to an arbitrator?
Okay, so I read an article today about Voynov's situation where he can take it to an arbitrator, but they're not going to at this point because
he could take it to an arbitrator to get the indefinite suspension repealed. If what I'm saying is that Varlamov should have been suspended pending an investigation. If the investigation had come back inconclusive, he would have been reinstated. There's nothing there you can take to an arbitrator.
The thing is, nobody knows what happened that night except him and his ex-girlfriend. We're making assumptions, and yeah, some of them are probably right, some of them are probably wrong, but unless we were there, we really don't know what happened.
I'm not making any assumptions. What I'm saying is that the situation was handled improperly, and that is not an assumption, that is a point of fact.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on, since we can't go back.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, we have some questions. What is your favorite rivalry in the NHL right now, and why is it Flyers-Penguins?
Birds and Habs. And it's still going strong. You know, one is a good team, the other is not anymore.
I like watching the Flyers and the Penguins destroy each other.
I like Flyers Penguins.
Yeah.
I like it better when the Penguins are winning, but whatever. It's fun. The fans go crazy. It's usually a really fast-paced game. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Let's see. And
I like Flyers Penguins too. That's probably my favorite.
Okay. The other question is, look 7 years into the future, who will be the elite teams in the NHL?
Dallas.
Tampa.
Are we gonna go the whoever gets Eichel and McDavid route?
Oh, then that Buffalo.
No, nothing that good is going to happen to Buffalo.
Buffalo sports teams are forever destined to be bad.
Said elite teams and say we have to actually win. We can go to the playoffs and the finals.
So Tampa, Dallas, Columbus.
I don't know about Columbus. I don't like their prospect pool.
Wild.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Well, who else would?
Well,
Maybe Colorado.
the teams this is the teams that have their prospect pools, how they're ranked. The team with the number 1 ranked prospect pool is the Buffalo Sabres. Neener. Number 2 is the Ducks. Number 3 is the Detroit Red Wings. 4 is the Blackhawks. 5 is the Lightning.
So the Blackhawks are going to be good. So suck.
Because of their cap situation.
I mean, the cap situation doesn't matter for prospects because you pay them shit. League entry, it's fine. The cap situation will be solved in 7 years. I'm not fucking worried about it for that long.
You hope it'll be solved.
The cap situation will be solved. I make a lot of noise about it. We're gonna be just fucking fine.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
How old are Kane and Taves?
Kane's my age, so I know that he's 26.
Then Taves is 27.
Or he will be
So
26.
they'll pretty much be old men.
Tell that to Jaromir Jagr.
There is only one Jaromir Jagr. You cannot use him as an example for other people.
I feel he's an exception.
Exactly.
To be fair, Chris Chelios used to play in Chicago, and Chris Chelios played till he was literally dead.
Okay.
Point of note, Chris Chelios is still alive.
I was gonna say, I think maybe you're using literally wrong there.
But Sabres are ranked number 1 for prospect pool, and we're gonna pick up somebody good this year. And we have 3 first-round picks this in the deepest draft in a long time. So, in 7 years, I think we're gonna be fine. Better be fine.
The Islanders might be good. The Islanders have some young players I like.
Yeah.
Montreal might still be good. PK Subban's going to be still pretty good in 7 years.
Can I just point out that Dallas is going to be really good?
No, because you're going to lose all of the forward depth you're really excited about, and Kerry Lettonen's going to retire.
How are we going to... First of all, we have 18 goalies in our system. Second of all, how are we losing all of our forward depth?
Because Steza's going to retire to go giggle at things, and Hemsky's going to go to New York.
Okay, Hemsky's had 1 good game, and we still have Sagan and Ben, who are, 23.
Oh,
Wait,
is Ben 23?
18 goalies in your system.
What?
Wait, how do you have 18 goalies in your system?
Okay, not literally, but we do have a lot of goalies.
Okay, I'll just say that.
We have a lot of goalie prospects.
Who's using hyperbole now, Kerry? Who's using hyperbole now?
Okay. And we have another question. I'm kind of biased, but okay. In a best-of-7 series, who would win, Gophers or UND?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know enough
simply
about the
because
team.
the Gophers play in Minnesota and UND does not. And that's how it works, because you guys have the hot dishes. And we've already explained this. We've been over this. You need to listen closer.
Okay, and I'm going to say my biased opinion. It would be the Gophers, because there's a reason they're ranked number 1 and constantly ranked number 1.
But what happened last year? They didn't
Hey,
finish number 1.
hey.
I'm just saying.
I said Minnesota sports. But they still would beat UND, definitely.
All right, side point of hilarious note. Twitter just informed me that Tyson Barrie favorited the NHL game score for the Rangers Wild game. You think someone's still a little salty from the playoffs?
A little salty.
Wait, who favored?
Tyson Barrie, the defenseman that Matt Cook took out.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Okay, so do we have a score update?
It's still 1-0.
I saw Mark Bergevin making funny faces.
I mean, if you want a real update, Tony Romo got a really odd hit, and he was escorted off the field.
They said
There's
for
an-
a back injury.
It looks
Remember,
pretty scary.
football fans out there will know that Tony Romo has had back surgery, and back injuries were also what killed, not literally, Troy Aikman.
That's not hockey, so.
I feel bad because actually the Cowboys were actually going to be great this season because they were 6-1, and now they're destined to go lose 7 games now.
Hey, wait, can we
They
do
were
a-
always destined to do that. They're the Cowboys.
Are we doing a non-hockey update? Because I've got 2 non-hockey updates.
Okay.
One, Taylor Swift's new album, 1989, came out. You can buy it on iTunes. It's amazing. It's so good. And 2, Roger Federer won Basel. Yay, Roger Federer.
Basel? Isn't that Switzerland?
Basel. Yeah. Basel in 2 languages and Basel in 2 other languages, so I don't fucking know anymore. It's Switzerland.
Okay. So we did have some other news on our list. Nora Rate made hockey history again. She was the first Finnish woman to suit up to play for the Finnish second league Mestis. So that was cool of her.
Good
That's
go.
pretty cool, yeah.
By all accounts, she played really well, too.
Yes.
I wouldn't even know where to watch the game, but I would have if I could have.
Yeah. It's good to see her continuing to play and so on and so forth. So here's some other news that we didn't put on our list, but I saw as we were starting the podcast. The Maple Leafs bumped Phil Kessel from the top line at practice and put David Clarkson in his place.
Can
So VPS
anyone
news.
explain the Leafs and their thinking?
Anne Murray did send out a tweet saying, "I wish the Leafs were better," and then Jeremy Taggart sent another tweet saying, "The Leafs don't deserve our tweets."
And I want to point out that the next game the Leafs play are against the Sabres, who historically have always beaten them regardless of the state of their team.
This gives me a migraine. At least the good news is I may not be able to watch it tonight.
I honestly, I have stuck through some pretty horrible times with my sports teams. I'd be out at this point if I were a Leafs fan. I'd be hoping for that second team to come to Toronto so I could start rooting for them.
I do have a second team, and they haven't won a game yet.
Maybe it's
Oh
you.
no!
No offense, but maybe it's you.
Obviously.
That was the saddest thing I've heard all week, and I've had a sad week.
As bad as both teams I follow have not scored power play goals. The only 2 teams in the league that haven't scored power play goals are the 2 teams I follow.
Cora still wins.
I know.
Yeah.
Win. When we play this game, I always win.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that win doesn't count towards points in the standings.
Congratulations on that win.
Does give us points in the 2016 draft. 2015. Wait, 2015? 2015.
Yep. We had another question from Dave. He wants to know if Zach Parise gets less or more attractive when his new stitches become a scar.
I don't like it because it looks like one of those twirly French mustaches.
If it wasn't
I'm not a
another
fan.
place on his face, it might be, but no.
If we want to talk about attractive scars, Andrew Shaw really hit maximum face maximization potential for scar with that high cheekbone one in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
That was basically, if you're contemplating where to put a scar on your face, I think that was ideal. That might sound crazy.
I see.
Yeah, it's...
Parisi will always be attractive. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully, Zach Parisi is going to be just fine in the face department, basically, no matter what. Also, he's married, so she's stuck with him now.
Yeah. And I believe has a set of twins.
Yeah, they're really cute.
Aw. I love twins that
Yes.
don't belong to me.
Twins I can give back.
Yes, they're the best kind.
Yeah. So there was that news.
Oh, also on the Kessel thing, at this point, from what I hear, and I got back from vacation today, so I was kind of watching the thing in bits and pieces. From what I hear, is that since they didn't give enough effort, you know what? I'm at this point, I say whatever. What the hell? Because I have it. To me, it's almost like the players know like something's going to happen where either Carlisle goes or whatever, so they're just going to play. I don't, because I can't see if they care anymore.
Like they're just waiting.
Yes. And if you can bring yourself to care after that whole ceremony they did Saturday night,
Yeah.
and then you've done so badly against Boston,
I mean, if you think about it, if you had a shitty boss that made your work miserable, like, people don't realize it, while you may play hockey for fun, it is their job. Like, I'm not saying they don't enjoy it and it's not a wonderful job, but it's their job. And when you have a boss making it shitty, just like anyone else, it's going to be harder to give 100% to your job.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Tyler Bozak.
Maybe they're trying to force Carl out.
What'd you say about Bozak?
I think it was Tyler Bozak who said that that it was in their heads, or that that they needed to care more. I think was his quote.
I think actually that may have been Kadri.
Oh, okay.
We just have to act like we care, but you know what?
But it's really concerning to hear that coming from the locker room, especially in a market like Toronto where you don't need to give the media ammunition.
Oh yeah. Well, and then even Lupul said it's better to play at away because it's much louder. When you can't even get the home crowd to really cheer you on. Sad. But anyways, Oilers just scored again. Nail Yakupov.
Wow.
All right, then.
Okay.
I mean, we knew the Oilers weren't going to keep being terrible forever. They were having the worst luck of any team in the NHL.
Yeah, they were.
This is not good for... Oh, Yakupov scored. Good for him. The kid in Galchenyuk's face.
Okay, we have another question. This one's from Marianne. Who's the best number one center and why is it Riley Nash?
Very good face-off percentages.
That's a start.
I don't know. He's a redhead.
I don't know.
The color commentator for the Hurricanes apparently is friends with his girlfriend and knows that she plays tennis and texts her.
Oh, no.
But
Wait,
then
did he just really say that?
Yes, he also texts the mothers of the players. So this actually isn't an odd thing. It's just like he mentioned that he texts Riley Nash's girlfriend, and then he talks about her and then says she's attractive and other really random things.
Oh, man. Trip Tracy.
He did, one thing he said, the best part, he was telling a story about Nathan Gerbe, and then he said Nathan Gerbe slept in a drawer on on like a vacation type thing, because there wasn't a bed. Those of you who don't know, Nathan Gerbe's like, what, 5'5", 5'7"?
Yeah, he's like my height. I wonder if the players listen to the Chip Tracy broadcast after the game is over just to maximize the chirping potential.
He even learned Russian for Semen because he sent this this letter, or I don't know what he was talking about, but he basically recited this thing to Semen on air in Russian, and Semen's just sitting there smiling. Nobody knows what he's saying. He's just odd.
Simon probably didn't know what he was saying either. Simon was like, "This is not Russian. This is like fucking Polish."
Well, yeah, he's just an odd fellow.
He's my favorite.
All right. Another news article. Seattle won't get an NHL team for less than $400 million.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
And until they get an NBA team.
Yes, but to put things into perspective, $400 million seems like a lot to us, but to an owner or somebody with deep pockets, it's not that bad.
Return of the Seattle Sonics. Was that what they're called?
Yeah.
No, they were the Seattle Metropolitans, weren't they?
Yeah, they were the Metropolitans.
No, the basketball team was the Sonics.
Oh, I see.
And they were really shadily stolen from Seattle.
Think of how the the Stars got stolen.
No, it was okay, yeah. But it was worse. Because Norm Green wasn't a bigot, at least. Whereas the owner of Oklahoma City Thunder,
Well,
Huge
wasn't Norm
bigot.
Green, like, sexually harassing people in Minnesota?
Yes.
Listen, Ari, I just said he wasn't a bigot.
She didn't say he was an angel.
He just wasn't. The guy who owns who bought the Sonics, promising to keep them in Seattle, but the entire time planning to move them to Oklahoma City, which is where he's from. He made sure they sold the WNBA team because he didn't want those kind of women in Oklahoma City.
Aw, fuck that guy.
See?
Yeah. So, and there's talks that Sacramento Kings will be moved to Seattle. So if that actually happens,
I thought they put that to bed though.
nope, it's still back on.
I hope it
Alright,
happens because Sacramento is fucking terrible. I hate Sacramento.
So the Kings go to Seattle, then NHL can start.
I mean, I think ideally the Kings that would move to Seattle would be the Los Angeles Kings, but if we can't have that happen.
I just want the expansion and relocation stuff, if it's going to happen, to go ahead and happen so we can stop talking about it.
But due to external issues, that can never happen.
Let's see, I'm looking for some other news here.
In lighter news, and happier, goofy news, the Boston Bruins team went to a local children's hospital dressed up in Halloween costumes, and Dougie Hamilton dressed like Elsa from Frozen.
Yeah, they actually, a bunch of them dressed up as the characters from Frozen. That was great.
It was
That's
creepy.
like fucking nightmare fuel.
Can you
More so than
imagine-
Chara as a bunny?
No, that's still the worst.
But can you imagine, like, this giant hockey player coming into your hospital room and they're dressed as a princess?
No, look, I've been in a hospital recently, and that would not have made me feel better.
As an adult, it would make me feel better. Are you kidding? I'd be laughing my ass off. But as a child, I'd be really confused.
Can you imagine just waking up high on whatever fucking painkiller they've given me?
Elsa, why do you have a beard?
Dougie Hamilton is standing there as a 6-foot-tall Elsa.
Elsa, I think you need to shave. You have like a 5 o'clock shadow going on.
I would have torn my IV out and fallen out of bed. Oh, that's so upsetting.
I think this would affect me more if I've actually seen Frozen, but I haven't. So maybe I'm lucky that way.
It's just the pictures are scary. You don't have to have seen Frozen to be terrified.
You can just look at the pictures
I
and
think you should
understand.
put the picture of the photo out so people get what we're talking about.
I think you should put a fucking trigger warning on that shit.
I don't know why I'm tweeting this, but okay.
Do not look if you are a Habs fan or if you have sanity left to value.
Or if you hate Bruins fans. Bruins players.
I mean, everyone hates Bruins players, so if we give that disclaimer, we will not see
no
it.
one's gonna look at the picture.
Yeah.
Well, they might. It's a very creepy picture, but I will upload it to the Twitter. I've got a lot of stuff to sort through to find it. There it is.
Yeah, the Bruins terrify me. And not in like the team is really good way, and more of a sort of, you all need to be helped.
They do this every year, even for Christmas as well.
Why can't they be like normal teams and like wear their jerseys and go carve pumpkins with kids?
Yeah, fucking Jonathan Taves and
Mainstream.
Patrick Kane were playing with a kid the other day, and it was the cutest shit I've ever seen. It was. If you haven't seen this video, there was a Make-A-Wish program with the Blackhawks recently, and the kid is on the ice playing with Taves and Hossa, and he's wearing a number 19 jersey. And Hossa asks him who his favorite player is, and he says it's Patrick Kane. And they're like, "But you're wearing a Taves jersey." And he's like, "Well, you know." And it's like, it's very diplomatic of you. It's really cute. AKA, Hosa's just causing shit while Jonathan Taves stands there and laughs.
Yes, and for the record, the picture has been posted, and I warned it. I put a warning on it for people, so it's bad.
I just love the photo.
It's.
Wait, I'm looking at the Halloween costume picture that Cora tweeted here. Apparently, the Stanley Cup got boobs.
Yeah.
I never thought, while thinking of Halloween costumes, I never thought I should go as the slutty Stanley Cup.
Alright, so I had a thought the other
worst
day.
slutty costume I've heard of.
Alright, I have the worst costume idea. I thought of this the other day. I would never do it, A, because I don't have that much self-confidence, and B, because I don't have that much audacity. But I live in Washington now, and I thought it'd be pretty funny if I went with one of those Russian fur hats on, a Washington Capitals t-shirt, and no bra. And when people ask me what I was, I'd say, "Oh, I'm Alex Sebastian. Can you see white Russian, no cups?"
Oh god.
Well then.
But I'm never going to do it. So if anyone out there wants to go ahead and try that, feel free.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean,
Is anyone actually dressing up for Halloween?
Yes, I'm going as sexy Batman.
I am going as I have this vampire dress thing I bought, and it depends on if the weather is warm enough. That's it's like a real deal breaker. If it's not snowing, like it might, I'll wear that, and then if not, I have some Nightmare Before Christmas t-shirts, so I'll wear one of those and jeans and walk around.
I don't celebrate the holiday, but the last time I went as a pothead.
So what?
A pothead. I bought a ceramic pot, and I glued a marijuana leaf to it, and I put it on a headband.
That's hilarious.
Well, mostly because I went out to a club, and I was supposed to technically be dressed up. So that was my low-effort costume.
Yeah, mine's a low effort. Mine is boy shorts, a crop top with the Batman symbol, and knee highs with cape on it.
Didn't you make a Princess Jasmine bra or something?
Yeah, that's for EDC. I'm gonna be Princess Jasmine for EDC.
Oh, okay.
The weekend after Halloween.
I'm
Go ahead.
with two friends, and I'm going to be Daphne from Scooby-Doo, and one of them is going to be Velma from Scooby-Doo, and one of them is going to be Scooby from Scooby-Doo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just doing the vampire costume if it's warm enough.
I will be wearing exactly what I'm laying on my couch on now, a button-down Oxford shirt, and an apron, and a vest, so I look like a goddamn box, and I will be working.
But are you gonna buy Benny an adorable dog costume?
I will not be buying Benny an adorable dog costume.
What
No.
is wrong with you? I buy my cat's costumes.
Yeah, I bought my
Working.
cat a witch hat with little green hair on it.
No one would see it. I work. He all day long. I work.
Yeah,
Don't
wear it
laugh.
all
My
year.
my pets were part of the Justice League last year. It is a thing.
That's adorable.
The
and there's
most Benny,
pictures of your pets in costumes.
I posted 2 pictures of my cat in a hat on
the
Twitter.
most Benny has ever worn is a bandana. And I posted pictures of it. It had his name on it and a patch, and I made it for him.
You need to step up on your pet ownership game.
I don't want to dress my dog up. He's a dog.
My cat is being Bergeron as his namesake. We got him a cat jersey.
If you ever move anywhere north, and Cassie would agree with me, if you have a dog or something and you have to take him outside, you're going to have to put him in a sweater. Because
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
my
might
dogs
actually.
refuse to go outside.
If we have a winter like last winter, he might actually get a jacket because he's pretty little.
Yeah.
But that's like dressing him up for warmth, not for me to look at and laugh.
Oh, we put the hat on the cat for fun. Took a couple pictures, and now she's scared of it. But I kind of relinked.
I see. I'm looking now.
When I was a child, I didn't really understand that there's a reason why dogs have clothing and cats don't have clothing. And I had a cat, and I had just learned to sew on my first, kid-sized sewing machine. And I informed my mother that what I really wanted to do was to make a sweatsuit for my cat so he would be comfortable. And my mom was like, oh God, no. She couldn't talk me out of it, so she finally managed to talk me into only making a sweatshirt because I couldn't figure out the logistics of how pants would work with cat knees. And she was like, he's never going to let you put the tail through the hole in the back of the pants. So I just made a cat sweatshirt. It was the cutest thing you've ever seen. It's a little cat-sized sweatshirt. And we made him put it on once. And he just walked around like he was drunk. And he was so upset. I have never seen him that upset. He didn't understand, and he was like crying, and we were like, oh, this is not good. So we took it off, and no one ever used it again. And I was so sad.
I actually saw at the climbing event I was at, there is what in the climbing world is an iconic pizza place called Miguel's, and they sell branded clothes, and they sell sweatshirts like zip-ups, and somebody had bought one with that had fleece lining and reworked it so it was a dog sweatshirt with a hood and everything that had the logo on the back.
Nice.
And I have decided that I'm going to find somebody that talented to get a sweatshirt and do that for Benny. Because if he's going to have to wear a jacket, I would like him to wear a cool one at least.
No. Yeah, you can't put clothes on cats. It just doesn't always work.
Watch me try.
Yeah, I'll
They wear
try.
ties, they wear bow ties, they wear sweaters. It
My
happens.
wears shirts.
One of my cats went as the moose from the Grinch. No,
Nice.
since we don't have a dog, we set him up as the moose.
Cute.
Yeah, I don't try doing that with my cat because she's very picky and she doesn't bring her claws out, and I want to keep it that way.
I have put Benny in a Stars scarf and a New York Giants scarf and a New York Giants hat once. I can't remember who I was trash talking.
Probably
But I was
me.
trash talking somebody. That's why the Giants stuff went on him, and I put him in.
Probably,
Huh?
probably D.
It might have been
No.
Ryan, actually. Ryan O'Han.
No, I wouldn't be trash talking him. He's a Giants fan.
Well, isn't being a Giants fan basically trash talk?
I mean, for good, like, oh, lucky you, you're a Giants fan too, that kind.
No, but aren't the Giants terrible?
No.
This year, but not every year.
That's worse.
I think I was trash talking Jay Fazzle because we were playing the Redskins and it was comical. We won by a lot. And I've also put Benny in my Jamie Benn jersey, which was kind of comical because he just sat on the ground and I kind of just put it over him. It's really big. It's big on me, and Benny is about 22 pounds. So. And he will eventually get a Stars bandana.
I should mention while we're talking about dogs, by the way, that I don't know if the video was recent, but I just saw it recently. In some video, someone asked Dustin Brown what he would want to be in another life, and he said he'd want to be Andrei Kopitar's dog. And that's adorable.
Well, have you seen how that dog was treated?
Yeah, that dog lives the best life. Also, that dog is the cutest dog.
Yes, adorable.
Yes, we did turn into Pets Are Awesome, because pets are awesome. But,
As long as Terry and I aren't fighting over whose pet is cuter.
yeah.
I mean, there's not even a fight there, so.
Shut
no
the
worries.
actual fuck up. I'll bite you.
You'll lose.
So what's this? Still 2-0?
Oh, I paused it because I was watching some weird thing, but I will look.
I can
Hold
just,
on, I'm
Oh, it's on
bringing
that stupid Mark Messier Vancouver commercial. They're just, Rogers is just taunting
I was
it's
gonna
still
say.
2-0.
Canada.
Yes, it is still 2-0. With about 4.5 minutes left in the second, it looks like.
Yay!
So,
Come on, Edmonton, don't F this up.
Don't jinx it.
I was gonna say, well, now they're going to.
Probably the best thing we can all do is stop watching this game and just pretend it's not happening.
I'm not watching it, so I'm not.
I'm not, but I plan on watching the third period.
Okay.
I've always been ignoring Edmonton, so I'm very emotionally prepared for this.
I found, so the 3 stars from this week, the NHL named Jeff Carter, Ben Scrivens, and Franz Nielsen as 3 stars.
Jeff
Yeah.
Carter, love his ode.
I
Yep.
fucking hate Jeff Carter. And I fucking hate that line. God damn it.
Oh, apparently Tony Romer is alive now. He's back in the game.
Much like Chris
No.
Chelios.
Franz Nielsen, well deserved. Scrivens, as much as I don't know. I know they wanted to get a goalie in here. I mean, I know the Oilers have won 3-0. I mean, for the week that they were counting. But I don't think he had his best performance.
No.
I think he's still getting into his game. There were particular goals during the Carolina game that he didn't need to let in. Sure, specifically one. But
I think the reality is that Ben Scrivens deserves a star every week for playing behind the Oilers.
that is true.
Yeah.
Once
Franz
again, they're
Nielsen
getting
definitely
outshot.
deserves that, though. Franz Nielsen had a great week. Good for him.
I really like that the Islanders are doing so well because it means Sabres aren't getting as high as a Great news.
Right.
I love this.
But I wanna point out something, and I have to keep pointing this out to the panicking Sabre fans. The Islanders, in the past, have started out really well, and then the month of November hits, and they turn to shit. So, can we make it through the month of November first?
Don't worry, they won't have to try very hard in the Metropolitan Division to get a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I think right now it's too early to determine all that and panic.
So, Predators are not winning the cup. I should stop saying that.
I don't know. Maybe they will.
I'm just saying, like, let's give it some time because, I mean, Minnesota's only played something like 6 games compared to other teams, and it's just so all over the place.
Can I just express my sympathies here for Dave, aka Abe, not being able to tell the difference between a damn cat and an adorable dog? It's really sad, and I hope he gets the help he needs.
He's already happy to work with a UND fan, so
Yeah.
he has his Taylor Swift album, so maybe everything's all better.
What do you guys think of the reffing lately?
I thought you were going to say, what do you guys think of the Taylor Swift album? And I was preparing to answer that.
No.
I was really prepared to answer that question, and now I'm less prepared to answer this question because I'm still thinking about Taylor Swift. So I'm just going to answer the question I thought you were going to ask.
I want freaking GoPros on every single ref, and I want it available.
I just have noticed how the announcers, like, you can tell the announcers are pretty much done with their shit. Because I've listened to multiple announcing themes, and when Tim Peel is repping, they're always like, and that call made by Tim Peel. That call was made by Tim Peel. They never mention any other ref by name.
My favorite was
That's
during
a Tim
the
Peel
Olympics.
call.
During the Olympics, when like Pierre goes, "What the hell was that call for?" And then he goes, "Oh, it's Tim Peel."
Okay, so
Ralph and Razor at one point goes, well, I guess Tim Peel just hates the Stars.
since he's been brought up, and that's why I asked about the reffing, why does he still have a job?
Maybe they just want to give us something to talk about.
Yeah.
We should know refs by their names, unless they do something funny, like
Exactly.
Leggio with his whole "you can't do that" and the two of you get the fuck out of here thing. That's funny. We know Tim Peel because he fucks up.
Like twice a game.
Constantly. If Tim Peel is reffing your game, you know that there's going to be at least 2 calls that are questionable.
And one is going to involve a goal.
I wonder if we start a petition to get Tim Peel out of the NHL if they would listen to us.
How many subscribers to Our Hockey do we have? Do we think we could get it? Like, if everyone signed it?
165,000.
I feel
That
like
should
we
be
could probably
enough, right?
get at least 100,000 signatures.
Make it a sticky.
But yeah.
Change.org petition starting right now.
Actually, maybe we should just crowdfund, like, me drop-kicking Tim Peel. I wonder how much money we could raise.
Could you physically drop kick him though?
I'm small, but I have a lot of rage.
Okay then.
At the very least, I could probably make him cry.
Yeah.
I think you
And the
could just-
emotional damage lasts longer.
I've known you a short time, but I've realized I don't ever want to get on your bad side.
A point that I made recently to someone that I find was somewhat terrifying to them was that the internet is never where I get the maddest because I can always walk away from it. I'm much scarier in real life.
That's just a disturbing thought.
But I'm also much smaller in real life than on the internet when everyone sort of feels like they're the same height. So I guess it balances out. But the rage is concentrated. It's not less rage.
Here's a problem. The refs are union.
Oh, that's true. But really, do you think they like Tim Peel? I bet they don't. Just saying.
I don't know.
Fucking Mean Girls for refs.
Honestly, he must have done something right if he was chosen to be a ref for the Olympics.
Yeah,
He must be nice, or he
makes
must have
headlines,
sufficient blackmail material sitting on the sides that he's just threatened Bettman with. I don't know.
It's but Tim Peel is not a good ref.
Water is wet.
Yep. I think we should. I just realized what day of the month it is. For those unaware, that is the last week of the month. The next starting Saturday, or for you guys the next month, is Movember.
Oh,
where
God.
Guys will refuse to shave.
AKA the best month ever.
Yes.
It's not the best month ever.
No, because some guys look really creepy and just should not be growing beards.
And well, I want to get to the positive of it. It is for charity. You can donate it on the Movember website. I'm sure if you Google it, you can find it. And the money goes for prostate cancer and mental health. So it's kind of cool.
The
I
real
will
question
donate.
is,
And ladies can participate somehow.
Ugh.
I mentioned it in a game thread in the playoffs that since I was a woman, I would not be growing a beard out, and it was suggested to me what I could grow out. And, I just feel like that wouldn't help charity.
well, to be
And
fair,
also,
I
I'm
don't.
not going to tell you whether or not that's happening, random stranger on the internet.
Yeah, and I live in Florida. I wear shorts on a daily basis. I kind of have to shave my legs.
You know, that's not the body part that was suggested to me, but
Oh, I figured what body part, and not gonna answer that.
Alright, wait, hold on. Since when did we fucking censor ourselves on this fucking podcast?
Okay, I'm just
Forgot
gonna.
that fucking memo.
Okay, I'm gonna say this much about Movember. If you sign up on the website, it's Movember.com. For ladies, it's pretty much just getting the word out there for raising awareness and stuff. That's what they ask to do. Now, personally, some prefer to do the whole No Shave November on their legs. For me, it's No Shave November, December, January, February. You know, and I will preface it with, my hair on my legs grows in blonde and nobody can see it. It is too much effort. So I just leave it. But yeah, no. Yeah. So, but guys, if you don't grow creepy porn stashes, and just maybe consider it.
I think we should keep on this podcast a running shame list of who has the worst Movember faces.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Is
I
Crosby
think that
automatically on this list?
Tori Krug cannot grow facial hair, nor can Tyler Sagan.
Matt Nieto looked horrible last year.
Jamie Benn.
Crosby.
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 Jamie Benn. I don't understand when it comes to beards how Jamie Benn and Jordy Benn are related.
Yeah, Jordy Ben has like the most luscious ginger beard of all time.
It's glorious, and Jamie Benn has like a few patches and a creepy porn stash.
Ooh.
Yeah, Jordy Ben looks like an extra from Braveheart, and Jamie Ben looks like an extra from the Sidney Crosby life story.
Pretty much, yes.
My only disappointment is that for November that they're supposed to shave first and then start.
No!
I don't want Enroth to shave the beard.
No, Jordy can't shave the beard.
I know.
Burns can't shave his beard.
I mean, what if our defense starts playing poorly? Oh.
It's hilarious because they're terrible at defense.
Never mind.
Oh wait, who else can't grow facial hair? Louis Erickson. He has this weird porn star stuff.
Yeah, he also can't.
Neither can Tyler Myers. It's creepy. Very
Tyler
creepy.
Myers is kind of creepy, frankly.
Yeah, he is. With the neck and everything. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He is on my team. I'm well aware of the creep factor. The other thing that was brought up, and I saw pictures of it today, is Brent Burns did his thing where you can shave him, and money goes to charity.
Brent Burns has a heart of gold. I love that dude.
He's amazing.
And Burnsy's Buzz Cut. He supported Katie Moore Foundation, Defending the Blue Line, and the San Francisco Zoo this year. So
Somebody on Twitter, and I don't know who it was talking about how, I think I was seeing retweets, talking about how instead of doing things like auctioning off jerseys for charity, they should do tickets, like $30 for a ticket to enter. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea, because someone like me, I'm never going to enter an auction to win a game-worn jersey because I'm poor. But I can say, okay, well, $30 for charity to maybe win. Yeah, I can afford that. And there are probably thousands of people like me. So I feel like things like that may be better if you do a raffle instead.
Right. But on my main account, I retweeted the last picture we saw of Burns in the process of the buzz cut.
Why have he not fixed his teeth yet?
He has the inserts. He just doesn't wear them.
Yeah, they don't really like permanently shove teeth in there. Usually you just have the little wire thing with teeth attached.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they don't usually wear them while they're playing games. So.
Oh, Oh, hey.
Also- Tony Romo returned to the game and has apparently immediately been sacked.
Oh, great.
I'm not sure. This is what I'm getting from Twitter.
Yeah, that's what happened. I'm watching the game on mute.
I do want to take a minute to give a big shout out to Hockey Babbler. If you're not following her already, she is an incredible artist and a really great human being, and it is her birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
And I also want to give a personal thank you to Hockey Babbler. I didn't get a chance to do this because I was not on Twitter at the time. But she won a trivia contest on the Mighty Dave's D4 podcast, and her prize was Reddit Gold, and she gave it to me. And that was really nice of you. So major thanks to Hockey Babbler.
Oh yeah, that trivia contest. I won the bonus question.
What was the bonus question?
Who's Minnesota Dave's most hated player?
Matt Cook?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty easy bonus question.
Yeah. So, but I got it right. So yeah, we've got that. The charity drive that we talked about last week wrapped up. The final total was... Ooh, I gotta find it. Since we talked about it, I figured we should just give a final update. Okay, it wrapped up a few days ago. The winner was the New York Rangers fan base. A grand total of $23,576.50 was donated. 185.5 hours of volunteer work and 7 donations of blood. For those who don't know anything about blood donations, one blood donation can actually go to 4 different babies. So it kind of multiplies the beauty of it, depending on where the blood actually goes. So it's very great to see that much money, that much time, and blood being donated. Yay, everyone.
There was a really interesting article I read today about rare blood donors.
Yes.
I don't know who tweeted that, but...
I didn't tweet it, but I do know something about it. Some people don't have certain antibodies in their body, so their blood can go to babies, and the babies won't build up tolerance, which is good for anyone who's waiting on a organ transplant. And I'm actually one of the ones who can do that, and a universal donor, so I donate blood when I can.
But like, there are some people who have... I think the example they gave was RH null blood, which like only 40 people in the world have, and if you have it, you can only receive it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So like, universal donor is not actually a universal donor.
Right.
Yeah.
But in my case, it's more as mine can go to babies.
And this was a question
Yeah,
that I
I'm
did.
all negative, but I can't.
I actually, this came up, I think I was talking to somebody, I donated volunteer time for the challenge, but I was feeling bad because I wouldn't donate blood because I'm terrified to donate blood.
I can't donate blood because first I was born in Europe. Second, I had a blood transfusion. You can't donate blood if you have a blood transfusion.
But I was talking, I was feeling guilty because I'm too afraid to go donate blood, and that's a terrible excuse. But then I was saying, oh well, but I have 2 tattoos that one of them has been in the past year, so I don't think I could donate blood anyway.
Right.
And then someone was telling me that, I can't remember who I was having the conversation with, that that's not actually a restriction anymore.
I think it's within 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months and then 3
And
months.
I am within 6 months of my last tattoo, so.
And I could not donate because if you don't frequently donate, you actually have to wait like 56 days between donations. So I was within the window where I could not donate a second time.
Well,
So I
you
was
can do
unable.
plasma. Plasma is twice a week to do.
Right, but I don't do plasma because there's no plasma donation area in where I live.
Really?
Okay, I live in BFE. The nearest plasma donation place is 75 miles away. So as much as I love and would like to do it, I'm not putting that wear and tear on my car.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess in the two cities that I've lived in where I've been aware of the plasma stuff, it's, in the poor areas because they say you're donating plasma, but you get paid.
Oh yeah.
It's up to, I think, if you go twice a week, it's up to $60 a week usually.
Yeah, that's what college students do.
Yes.
And drug users, but okay.
Yeah.
I did it when I was in grad school once, and again, I got too afraid because I was looking at the machine that pumps the blood back into you, and it will occasionally go off because it catches air bubbles. And other than the fact that I was looking at a needle stuck in my arm, which was just terrifying for me, I just
Yeah.
kept thinking that the machine was going to malfunction and I was going to die in this little blood plasma donation place. So I also never went back to that.
Yeah, I don't have that problem, so thankfully. But essentially, it's. I mean, just to wrap it up, the charity challenge did good. That's a lot of money, a lot of different causes. So
Yeah, I think everyone should be really proud of what we did.
Yes, it was great.
and in going into like the holiday season, remember that you can still obviously donate for different things. Always check your local food shelves. As I mentioned last week, monetary donations to food shelves are kind of important. They get overlooked often, so
They also like cans. Vegan cans. I mean,
yeah, they like canned foods. But I brought this up last time. The food shelf here in town almost closed because they had plenty of food donations, cans, but they weren't getting monetary donations, so they weren't able to pay their bills and pay the lights and keep the electric going. And so you got to just keep that in mind when you do donations and stuff.
do both.
Yes, they got to pay bills too.
So this says, I'm looking at the American Red Cross website now for rules for blood donations. For blood transfusions, you must wait a year after receiving a blood transfusion from another person in the United States. But you may not donate if you received a blood transfusion since 1980 in the United Kingdom or France, which is because of mad cow disease.
Yep.
I've never been able to donate blood either, so wish I could.
Yeah, I'm O negative. I'm a waste of O negative.
I should probably learn what my blood type is.
I have absolutely no idea what my blood type is. Is that bad? Do most people know that?
It's important if, like, you're in an accident. I'm told it's important for it to be, like, in your wallet or something, so they know immediately what kind of blood to give you.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I have a card with it in my wallet.
I wear, for anyone who does like running or riding or anything, I wear what's called a road ID, basically an ID bracelet, and the metal piece comes separately so you can change it out with my name and emergency contact number on it. Because I ride my bike everywhere, and when a car runs me over, and I don't always have my ID with me, and even if they did, they wouldn't be able to get in contact with anyone just based off my ID.
Right.
Because I live alone, and I don't think Benny can open the door. But it's great. I should probably find out a blood type and add it.
Yeah. I carry my donor card because I donate frequently. I get a special donor card, so I don't have to do their whole registration thing with my ID. So that's just in my wallet with all my other stuff. And I actually am supposed to wear a medical alert bracelet, but I don't. So
you should look into the road ID ones because they're really not ugly.
The medical alert bracelets have actually gotten a lot better, but the reason I have to wear it is I have an allergy to acetaminophen, which causes me to have convulsions.
So
Tylenol. And a lot of paramedics, if they see that you're in pain, the first thing they give you is Tylenol.
Right.
So I'm supposed to wear it so I don't get killed by a paramedic. I mean,
that seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
I've also looked at the regulations for donating blood after tattoos, and it says wait 12 months if the tattoo is applied in a state that does not regulate tattoo facilities. There are 40 states that currently regulate tattoo facilities. I have absolutely no idea if Kentucky's one of them.
That's good to know. So,
So
Finish.
if you have a tattoo, apparently you can, provided you're in one of those 40 states.
The more you learn.
Yeah, today I learned. Yeah, today's podcast has been a bunch of learning. So let's look at the game score.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've gotten so far off topic.
Yeah, I was like, game score. Oh, still 2-0 Edmonton at the end of the second.
We have to keep the spirit of After Hours.
Yeah. Just looking to see what other news there is.
You guys should go check out the movie Dear White People because my friend Brady stars in it.
Nice. I don't go to the movies, so it's too cold. They blast the air conditioning in the middle of winter.
Illegal stream it then. Not that I would condone illegal streaming.
I was gonna say that does not help your friend.
Yeah, that doesn't help with the money thing.
Yeah, I know.
Jakob Markstrom is closing in on some record books in the AHL. He's had 3 consecutive shutouts. So,
Watch her back, Eddie Lack.
yeah.
Plus Vancouver goaltending controversy once again.
I like Vancouver goaltending controversy. I'm not seeing much. Oh, the Nick Foligno hit.
He got cut? No, it's the one that.
No, that was scary. Have we heard any updates on him, actually?
He said he called his injury a stinger and that he hopes to play on Tuesday.
Oh, stingers suck.
So, but he was alert and moving his extremities and all that.
Well, apparently he said he wanted to go back in the game. So I know hockey players are crazy, but that's an indication that he's not dead.
I mean, Rich Peverly also asked to go back in the game immediately, so I want to use that as a gauge. But stingers do, like, you know, they're scary and they're painful, but you do tend to just recover from them very quickly.
Right.
It was a totally clean hit, just one of those weird circumstances.
Yeah, for those who missed it, Jeff Carter, I think is who it was kind of just rubbing him out on the boards, and he ran into the ref's ass.
Yeah, right along the benches, so it wasn't like...
And the ref was trying to get out of the way, type of thing.
Yes.
So,
for sure. Yeah, just one of those weird situations where it's just the perfect timing of events for a freak accident.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a question from Hockey Babbler. She wanted to know, have we already talked about the Sharks-Ducks game? And we haven't talked about the Sharks-Ducks game.
We talked about aspects of it, but...
I mean, we talked about the fact that the Ducks gave people a bacterial infection. We haven't talked about the game.
And John Scott got suspended for fighting in that game.
About John Scott's suspension. So if you missed the game, and I didn't catch all of it, but I saw the highlights this morning, Ryan Getzlaf and Corey Perry both fought twice? What the hell?
I didn't get to watch the game, but I was just happy that it didn't end in a 3-point game. That's really all I wanted. I'm never going to root for either of those teams. If we could have a game where both of them lose and neither of them get a point, I'd be happy.
I mean, so the final score was 4-1 San Jose, which is great for San Jose. Good night for Antti Niemi. But just looking at the penalties, it was one of those games where at the end there were more trainers on the bench than there were Ducks players. There were like 6 Ducks players left. So to run through this, in the first period there were 16 minutes in penalties. In the second period there were 8, 12, 22 minutes of penalties. And the third period there were, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, at least 130 minutes in penalties in the third period. Good. I like my rivalries. Get some good California hockey.
And didn't Tim Peel ref that game?
Indeed, he did.
Yes.
What's
So,
the rivalry without Tim Peel?
it's because that's where we got the clip of the coach calling him over just to tell him that the call was bullshit. So
I'm really disappointed that the Avalanche have started to put together a couple of wins because
Really enjoying that collapse.
oh yeah, well first of all, it's vindication for the probably 10,000 downvotes I got this summer explaining that the Avs were going to collapse. Second of all, it's vindication for the fact that I fucking hate the Avs. Third of all, I was really hoping they would just keep losing because at a certain point Patrick Wall was going to snap. And now that they've won a couple games, we've put off, I still think he might snap, but we've delayed the inevitable, and it's really disappointing.
Well, I'm just, like, my main worry is, like, you guys are fine as far as playoffs go, but we're going to be battling for a spot, and if Nashville is going to turn into some sort of fucking powerhouse overnight, I would like Colorado to bomb into the basement, please.
Don't worry, they're going to oblige you just fine on that one.
I really hope so.
yeah.
It's really right now, my driver's license is a Colorado driver's license. So I keep telling people, like, I was getting an ID for work, and I was chatting while they printed it. It's like, yeah, I'm a big hockey fan. Oh, you must be an Avalanche fan. No. Like, I was at a bar.
You know what?
I was at a bar the other night, and, slide my ID across the table, and the guy I'm talking to is like, oh, you've been talking about the Blackhawks this whole time, but you're an Avalanche fan, right? No. Shut the fuck up. Go away.
I have a way to solve that. You move to Kentucky, and you say, oh, I'm a hockey fan, and they go, oh, yeah, hockey. We used to have a team here. There were good fights. That's generally how the conversation goes. I used to get drunk and go watch the fights.
There's a kid I work with who's from Texas who did not know that the Dallas Stars existed. But the really concerning thing...
To be fair, Texas is a big state.
But the really concerning thing... But he knew the Houston Aeros.
That's confusing.
He was like, yeah, there's a hockey team in Texas. There's the Houston Aeros. And I was like, there's no... But, I mean,
no.
Yes? But no.
I mean, if you're not going to know the Stars, at least know the Texas Stars, because, like, they won the fucking championship last year.
I know, I was like, the Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup, and he was like, when did that happen? I was like, 1999? He was like, oh, I was alive for that. I was like, yeah, you fucking were.
The most I've got
Just
is...
so you know, I now think that the way, since you have so many run-ins with people talking about hockey, I now think that when you meet people, it basically goes something like, hi, I'm Ari, I'm a hockey fan.
That's not untrue.
So.
Okay, we had another question, and it was her husband is falling in love with Nashville. How does she stop it?
Who is this?
Hockey Babbler.
Don't stop it. It's such a fun city.
Also, like, the Nashville, you know what? I'm kind of okay with people rooting for the Nashville Predators. Shea Weber.
Oh, wait, are we talking about the team or the city?
The team.
Oh, you should definitely stop that. Listen, show highlights of James Neal and all the dirty hits, and then explain that he plays for Nashville. Yeah. That should take care of it.
Or
Relationship advice.
You're politically inclined, you could just always show Mike Fisher's views on things.
That's true.
Well, that's
there are
not
plenty
fair.
of reasons to hate them.
Let's be real. All of our hockey teams have people on them who have unfortunate political views.
I'm just saying, as a way to help her stop it.
We no longer employ Tim Thomas, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Tim Thomas is not with us anymore.
But I kind of like Nashville. I'd like for Nashville to make the playoffs. They're a fun team to watch when it's clicking. They've got Peter Laviolette is a fun coach to watch. He's kind of crazy but fun. Shea Weber deserves happiness. Also, when
You need to go watch. You need to come to the Blackhawks game in December, just so you can understand how much you may love them, but how much they hate you.
I know they hate me. I know.
I've seen 2 games in Nashville. Neither of them involve Chicago, and yet both times I was told by multiple people about how much I hate Chicago and Chicago fans.
But to be fair, I find that kind of charming. It's like when a younger sister hates the older sibling, but it's really out of love and jealousy. It's fine.
I feel like that's
Everyone
gonna
hating
make
Boston sports.
I feel like that's gonna make them hate you more.
Yeah, I just think they're adorable, and that
They're
probably
gonna
doesn't
yell, and you're gonna go, "Aw, that's cute."
Yeah, is this patronizing and condescending? Probably. Am I okay with that? Yeah.
Okay, we have another question from Dave. And it is, if the North Star still existed, would we be best friends instead of mortal enemies?
Yeah, probably. So if you guys don't know this story, I
It
moved
was
to Minnesota.
worth it.
I mean, how much entertainment have you guys gotten out of me and Dave hating each other?
See?
Yeah, so
Totally
much
worth it.
entertainment. I would have been a North Stars fan, but when I became a hockey fan, the North Stars didn't exist. And my mom is from Chicago and was a big Blackhawks fan back in sort of the Stan Mikita days. And she was like, well, Ariana, you'll just root for the Blackhawks with me. And I was like 6, and I was like, okay. And then the Blackhawks proceeded to not make the playoffs for like 11 out of the next 12 years. And I was really sad. But I was already so invested in the Blackhawks and the fact that I was going to make the fucking playoffs one day if it killed me, that by the time the Wild came around, I was not interested.
And here's the thing. Minnesota has a team. The people of Minnesota found hockey teams elsewhere. I would probably not be a hockey fan at all were it not for the Minnesota North Stars moving. And therefore, it was totally worth it.
Yeah, I gotta point out, it takes a real special kind of idiot to lose money on hockey in Minnesota.
I have a spoiler for you. He did it on purpose.
I know.
On it.
But still, real special
Breaking
idiot.
news. I did
Actually-
like the Dallas fans' reaction to Norm Green during the Mike Modano number retirement ceremony last season, because you have to understand, first, I mean, it's been 21 years since they moved, so a lot of the fans are newer and don't remember the Norm Green era, and the other ones know how it happened, so it was kind of like a nervous applause when they announced Norm Green. Like, as opposed to their current owner got huge cheers, Tom Hicks got a smattering of boos and cheers because he bankrupted 2 franchises in the city, including Dallas. And Norm Green was kind of like, oh, this is that asshole old guy. like clapping.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have that problem in Buffalo when we retire Hashik's number this year.
Probably not.
The city worships the ground that Pagula walks on. We're good.
I will say, so speaking of new teams, so I moved to DC, and it feels really weird to go to a hockey game without like team gear on, right?
Right.
Like you feel really out of place. So I was on eBay the other night, and shit's cheap, yo. It is not expensive. So I just bought a Washington Screaming Eagles jersey. They're the ones that you remember with the eagle that just looks like it's coming in for the kill.
Anytime I go to a game and my team isn't playing, I wear neutral colors. I don't wear hockey stuff, except when I went to a game in Colorado and then I wore a Nordique shirt that I happen to already own.
So I'll tweet a picture of the jersey I bought. It's not a Jaromir Jagr jersey, which is what I really wanted, just out of spite. But it's pretty legendary, I think.
Yeah, for the hockey game, I'm going to. My team's playing, so I'll just wear my normal stuff. And hope everybody's nice to me.
I am planning on going to the Stars game in Chicago in a couple weeks, and therefore I will be decked out in Stars gear.
Yeah, I'll be decked.
And jersey, knockoff jersey. That still is great.
I'll be decked out in my Sabres stuff when I go to the game in 2 weeks. So excited.
I'm still trying to find a time to go to Tampa. Whatever.
A what?
I'm still trying to find time to go to Tampa.
One of my cousins just moved from Pennsylvania to Florida to near where the Panthers, and he's like messaging me, the tickets here are so cheap. He lived outside New York City and has been trying to go to games there his whole life, and welcome to Florida.
Yep.
We're actually having a similar problem because the tickets to the Wild games aren't cheap. And like if when I was in Florida, this would have been easier. Yeah. But I can't.
Hurricanes games are cheap,
Yeah,
but I don't want to go.
I was looking at tickets for the game in Chicago, and good lord.
About it.
Oh, it's just absurd. I went last year, but my ticket was a birthday present, and it was a weekday game, so it wasn't nearly as expensive.
It's like being in fucking Candyland to be not and buy hockey tickets. It's amazing.
Okay.
When I was in Tampa, I got $18 ticket for 2 rows from the ice in Tampa. It was great.
Last year in Nashville, I was a dozen rows from the ice, and they were $30 or $35 each.
You would think a weekday game against the last place team in the league would have cheap tickets? No.
Nah.
So.
The other thing that's terrible about Chicago, and I think this is probably true of Minnesota too, is that a lot of places, if you wait till the last minute, tickets get really cheap.
That's what I'm planning on doing in Chicago.
It doesn't work.
Well,
they stay the same price because demand is so high, there's no curve.
Well, standing room only it is.
So tickets never get below, if you see a ticket for like $75, you're like, ah, yes. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm planning. Right now it's $90 for standing room only.
Wait, have you checked SeatGeek yet?
No, I've checked the NHL Ticket Exchange and StubHub.
Try SeatGeek as well.
I will do that. So we've been going for like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I have to work tomorrow.
Okay, so we will wrap this up. Currently, Edmonton is still beating Montreal 2-0 with 10 minutes left in the third.
Olay, that.
Montreal is out shooting them.
Of course they are. It's fucking.
So.
One of the low points of the past few years has been Sam Gagne's 8-point night against the Blackhawks. And you would think, like, Ari, get over it. You had one bad loss to the Oilers. It's fine. But every time I start to get high about this team, I think to myself, yeah, but remember that one time when Sam Gagne scored 8 fucking points? And there's no coming back from that. There's no recovery from that kind of humiliation.
Have you seen the clip of Dallas leading by 2? And somebody tried to get fancy on an empty net goal and missed it? No, leading by 1? Leading by 1. 15 seconds left. Fancy on an empty net goal, missed it, and Edmonton came down and scored. I watched that game live, and now I have seen that replay at least 3,000 times of funniest hockey bloopers. I also hate Edmonton. Simply for that.
Enjoy your game, Montreal fans. Now that I've told you that losing to Edmonton is one of the great shames of my lifetime.
And the NHL account, Instagram account, just posted highlights from range caption. What a game! What a comeback! They're not showing the dirty hits and match penalties handed out.
Well, fuck you, NHL.
They're just showing the Rangers scoring 5 goals.
I don't want to see that.
10 seconds of video for Instagram.
Huh?
There's only a 10-second maximum for Instagram videos.
Well, that's true, but I'm just saying. I'm seeing how many goals they got in. 3. They showed 3 goals, but they showed one of them twice.
Yes.
All right, so are we wrapping this up?
Yes. So I'm gonna do my huge thingy. So here we go. So you can find this episode and all other episodes in a myriad of places. ourhockeycast.com, the subreddit r/ourhockeycast, the YouTube channel, the Twitter, etc., etc., etc. Follow on Twitter. We're working on getting an RSS feed set up eventually. It'll happen. I just don't know when. We have the following shows coming up. On Tuesday, Lockria will do Crashing Continents. Thursdays is Toddler Thursdays. After Hours also on Thursday nights. Friday is the D4 show. Be prepared to be sticking around for a few hours for that one. Lately, they've been around the 4-hour mark. So
You don't have to stay for the whole thing, we should say.
yeah.
But it is. And occasionally I ask them questions no one knows how to answer, and that's always fun.
And Saturdays is the Wooden Balls show. So there's those. You can, obviously, we're on Monday nights, so yeah, you're that. I am Cassie, Abstract Halo on Reddit, Twitter, social media in general. You guys are? No.
Cora.
Oh, okay. I'm Cora. And I'm Philosopher After on Twitter. Sorry, I'm really tired.
I'm Terry. I'm T-Rex20 on Reddit and Twitter, and I'm a Star Wars fan.
God damn it, Terry. I'm Ari. I'm at Ari_raid on Reddit and Ari_raid on Twitter for when I'm around. And I'm a Taylor Swift fan.
I am Aisha, on Twitter, and I am a Tampa Bay Lightning fan.
Okay, stop jumping off the bandwagon. They're not even bad yet. Oh my god.
We lost to the fucking Capitals. We got shut out by them 4-0.
Capitals are not a bad team, and that was also like 2 weeks ago.
They also lost to the Habs.
Look at Cassie. Look at Cassie's life and look at Cassie's choices. Cassie is sticking it out. Look at Cora. Look at Cora's life. Look at Cora's choices. Seriously. Cora is sticking it out.
Yeah, and I have a really shitty life. So
You're still gonna make the playoffs.
We're not gonna make the playoffs. We're below 5-0.
Okay.
Okay, we are less than a month into the season. Stop panicking.
Hold on,
The only
wait.
people who should be panicking are the ones who only won either one game or none.
No, you know what, Aisha? You wanna make a bet?
Yes.
Alright. Tweet us your suggestions for bets, and next week we'll come up with a stakes about whether or not the Bruins make the fucking playoffs in the fucking Eastern Conference.
Okay.
So, that's all for our hockey cast. Once again, we're ending it on a bet that is genuinely unfair.
Good night, everyone.